Okay, Hare Krishna devotees, thanks for joining the morning sloka recitation and chanting session. So we'll now begin our sloka recitation with our obeisances to the lordships of ISKCON Sri Jagannath Mandir. बलदेवा प्रभु की जय, सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, लॉर्ड जगन्नाथ की जय, गौर निताई की जय, पंच तत्वा की जय, लॉर्ड वामन देव की जय, लॉर्ड परशुराम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna.
हरि बोल. Okay, we will say our prayers. ओम ज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री परमे नमः. तक्ष्मै तक्षय once again. ओम ज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so now we are beginning a new chapter, chapter 8, attaining the Supreme. Okay, so we start with shloka 8.1. Arjuna uvacha kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama adi bhutam cha kim proktam adi devam kim uchyate. Translation. Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation, and what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. So now this is about the absolute truth, supreme absolute truth. And Arjuna has been introduced to various other systems of yoga, and now he has a lot of questions. So he's now having questions about all these, what he has already heard from Lord Krishna. And so Lord will be answering all this in this chapter about the supreme absolute truth, about pure devotional service. Okay, right. So Kim Brahma. Brahman means the biggest. Brahanatvat, Brahatvat. So Srila Prabhupada says, Lord is already the biggest. He is called Brahman. So this cosmic manifestation, this universe is already the biggest in this universe, or what we can experience from this universe. But it is still increasing. That modern science has also proclaimed. So this has been proven that universe is expanding, although it is the biggest. And so the Brahman means biggest, and Lord is actually the biggest. So according to our Vaishnava philosophy, biggest means Lord Shri Krishna, the Bhagwan, because he is the richest, he is the strongest, he is the widest, he is the wisest, and he is most beautiful. He is full in all opulences, and he has all these in immeasurable quantities. That's the max. And we might be having all these, and some person might be having one of these more than others, and he can claim that he is the biggest, but it is in the society. So, but it is actually supreme absolute truth, Lord Shri Krishna, who has all these opulences in the maximum, and he is the controller of everything. But nobody can claim that he is the richest, and he is also the strongest, he is the wisest, and he is the most beautiful. So these can be in some trace quantities more than others. One person can have one of these more than others, but no one can have these to the max. But Lord Shri Krishna has all these, and he is the source of all these, even for us. So according to Vaishnava philosophy, it is Lord Shri Krishna who is the biggest, and Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Lord Shri Krishna says that I am Maheshwaram, the supreme owner of all the planets. So actually, it is Lord Shri Krishna who is Parabrahman, supreme Brahman. He is not only Brahman but Parabrahman. That is also accepted in all our scriptures. Then Arjuna is asking about Atma, Kim Adhyatmam. So Atma means, some places Atma means just the soul, and some places the scriptures also claim that, mention that Atma means body, Atma means the self, the soul, Atma means the mind. So Arjuna is asking, because he was introduced to this in the previous chapters. So what is the real meaning of this Atma? So Atma means the soul. You are also Atma. I am also Atma. Everybody is Atma. The minute particle, the spiritual particle, part and parcel of the all spiritual Lord Shri Krishna. So then he is asking about Kim Karma. What, so what is this karma? So this karma means to work. That is material. In this material world, we all know that we have to work. To keep our body and soul together, we have to work. Whereas, because that is how we maintain our body and soul, right? But so without work, we cannot sustain. And so if we go according to the Vedic system, there is Varna Ashrama system. So Varna, so one might be working as a Brahmana, all his duties, rules and regulations according to that Brahmana rules and regulations, the duties. And one might be a Kshatriya, another person might be a Vaishya running business, and or a Shudra supporting all these roles, all these Varnas. So work is there no matter what, in whatever form, but work is there in this material world. And in spiritual world, however, we don't have to work like we are doing here. We don't have to work. It's all without any endeavor. So you can live there. We can live there eternally. That is Vaikuntha Loka. Vaikuntha means where there is no anxiety, and that is the Loka. That is the planet, spiritual planet. So in material world we are full of anxieties, we are trying to work, but in spiritual world no such endeavor is required, and it is free of anxieties. Then Arjuna addressed Lord Shri Krishna as Purushottama. Arjuna is initially, I mean, he's a relative of Lord Krishna, and he is also a friend, very good friend of Lord Shri Krishna, very dear to Lord Krishna. And but when he started asking questions, he accepted Lord Shri Krishna as a spiritual master, as a guru, and that relationship became very serious, because now Lord Krishna took the role of eradicating the doubt from the mind of Arjuna, who is student now. So Arjuna addressed Lord Shri Krishna as Purushottama, Uttama Purusha. So Srila Prabhupada says that there are three kinds of Purushas. Purusha means a male, an enjoyer. And so he says there are three kinds of Purushas. One is Uttama Purusha, other is Madhyama Purusha, then there is Adama Purusha. Adama means the lowest. So we, in this material world, are also playing the role of a Purusha. We are trying to enjoy um, through our senses, through our endeavors. We are trying to enjoy in this material world. So we take the role of a position of a Purusha to enjoy this material world through our senses. But we are the lowest of the three Purushas, Adama Purusha, because we are totally dependent on Lord Krishna. We cannot exist without the mercy of Lord Krishna, we are 100% dependent on Lord Krishna. No matter whether anybody agrees to it, whether anybody realizes it, but we are dependent. So to enjoy, we require so many favorable circumstances. We need our senses, and we need, for example, to see an object or sense object to experience that sense object, that is through our vision. We need senses, we need that sense object, and we are also dependent on sun, right? If the sun deity, the presiding deity. So if there is no sun, we cannot see things and we cannot experience that sense of vision. So that is one example. So we are dependent on Lord, we are 100% dependent on Lord Shri Krishna. So, and a person can say, people might say, can you show me God? But Um, Srila Prabhupada says that you cannot see all God without sunshine, right? We are dependent on sunshine to experience anything. So somebody might say he has very good vision, he has very good eyes, but still, if there is no sun, there is no sun, presiding deity of sun. You in the with his senses, with his eyes, he cannot see the sense objects. So that is how it is. We are 100% dependent on Lord Shri Krishna. So that is, we are the lowest of all these three Purushas. Um, so Lord Shri Krishna is the Purushottama, Uttama Purusha. Then there is Madhyama Purusha, it is the super soul, which is the medium between Lord Shri Krishna and us, our living entities, the Jivatmas. We are Adama Purusha, so that is how it is, the lowest of all these two Purushas. So Krishna is addressed as Uttama Purusha, the best of all these three Purushas, the real enjoyer. Okay, Adi Bhutam. Then he is asking about, Arjuna is asking about Adi Bhutam, the matter, the five elements of matter. Kim Proktam. Which of these, which of them are called the Brahman? Atma. So all these questions Arjuna is asking from Lord Krishna, and and he will be answering all these in this chapter, eradicating his doubt. So anything and everything what Arjuna asked, Lord Shri Krishna is answering. He's removing his doubt. The fact that he has accepted the Lord Shri Krishna as his spiritual master, and Arjuna is very serious about gaining this knowledge, this spiritual knowledge as a disciple. So this, to understand this spiritual knowledge, there has to be a guru, there has to be a disciple, and it has to be a very serious relationship. It cannot be very casual, and that is how the spiritual knowledge is revealed. It flows from Guru, it flows from Lord Krishna through the Guru Parampara, Guru to the disciple. So Guru is the authority to explain all these. It can be through his scriptures, but that is how it is. So Guru is very serious. He has taken this responsibility. He is following the rules and regulation, and he is revealing the scriptures, authoritative statements, and the disciple is receiving it. So that is how the formal and relationship is very serious, and this is how the spiritual knowledge is revealed. And the other question Arjuna asked about the demigods, Adi Devam, right? Who are they? So the demigods, they are the, as just we gave the example of sun god, the presiding deity of sun, the sun god. So we are dependent on that. So there are various others. The demigods, they are the controllers or the controlling administrators of the universal affairs. To run this universe, we need Lord Sri Krishna imparted, created this administrative demigods, and they maintain each function or portion of the universe to function properly. For example, for rain, water supply, we have Indra Deva, the demigod known as Indra. He's in charge of this. And for heat and light, as we just discussed, the demigod is Surya Deva. He is in charge. Similarly, there is moon god, Chandra Deva. And each and every department, these devas, the demigods, are in charge, and they make sure um, so and so requirement is fulfilled for this universe, the planetary system to exist, as long as Lord Sri Krishna wants this system to exist, this universal cosmos to exist. So yeah, so there are so these demigods are empowered living entities to run the universal affairs of this universe. They have been invested with those particular powers required for those particular demigods to take control and run those particular functions of the universe. And these have been empowered, and these are the agents of the Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Krishna, and they are empowered to function. So there are 33 crores of demigods, and they are the controlling deities or the controllers of our activities also, directly, indirectly. So that is how it is. So for example, for each of our senses, there is a demigod, there is a presiding deity for our senses to function. So another example is for astronomy, so when somebody is born, we also refer to this kundali or astrology. There is chart is created according to the birth, place, time. So the astronomy is another science, which means the astral influence it has on the living entities of this universe. And according to the astral influence, a chart is created, and according to the chart, we act. So it could be because of our past karmas and desires. We took a certain body with which we will be able to fulfill our those desires in which we had in the past. According to the karmas, it will be will the Lord will sanction these, and we are taking birth at a particular place and time. So, but things change as we do more karma, or we do bhakti. We can change this completely. We change our destiny. That's how it is. So anyway, the horoscope is created according to the signs, and person situation according to the different astral influence is calculated and taken, and the snapshot is taken, and that is how the astrology science works. A horoscope is created from that, and this is how they can predict the future activities, the future desires and hopes this person would have, um, according to the birth, and which could be because of the past karmas and desires. But in this birth, we again do so many things. We do so much of karma, good and bad. So all these are there. So for example, we know that there are four kinds of karmas. You know, Puta, Bija, Adhyatmika. Okay, so there are four types of karmas, and that is prarabdha and aprarabdha, puja, pita, puta, bija. So all these are theirs, and this is how it is. We have desires, some good desires, some bad desires, and that is how we are functioning. But with bhakti, with devotional service, we remove all these. We get rid of all the sins, and we try to be in our pure constitutional position, that is, as a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is what we are doing right now. We are reading the scriptures, and this is part of the bhakti. So in this chapter, the confidential knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or absolute supreme absolute truth, will be revealed, and Arjuna has these questions. These all will be revealed one by one. So I thank you all for joining for this shloka recitation and chanting session. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Mata.